Don't worry, guys. I'll be with you in 2 seconds. Just over here, LooksMaxxing. Don't expect you to understand, you know, sitting over there with all your ugliness. I'm LooksMaxxing, thank you very much. I'm trying to be better than everyone. Hello, you gorgeous donuts. Today we're going to have a look at the disturbing and also terrifying world of LooksMaxxing. Now, don't worry if you don't even know what I've just said there. That actually is a real thing. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. LooksMaxxing is basically maxing your physical appearance, so you can become as attractive as possible. Obviously, the words looks and maximizing come together to create the abomination that is LooksMaxxing. We're just making words up at this point, aren't we? I guess every word is made up, to be honest, so I can't really knock this one. Flabbergasted. Like, if that's a word, we can allow LooksMaxxing. Now, under the umbrella of self-improvement, LooksMaxxing is almost this thing that guys are doing to engineer their face to look a little bit better. And there's terms associated with this that genuinely, before researching for this video, I didn't even know existed. Here's a couple. IPDs, which is interpupillary distance, which is basically the distance between your eyes, which was not an insecurity I had before researching for this video. Now I'm contemplating whether they're too far apart or indeed too close. I've got no idea. I guess we will find out. Recessed maxilla, which is where your upper jawbone is underdeveloped. Unfortunate for anybody watching who does suffer from that. Unlucky. Canthal tilt, which is the angle at which your eyes sit, which I didn't even know my eyes sit in an angle. I've never sat down, looked at my eyes and went, I wonder what the sin cos tan of these are. Let me just pull out Pythagoras' theorem to work out the angle of this. Another one is mewing, which is basically like a tongue exercise you can do to make your jawline more refined. I'm trying to take this seriously, okay? This is very serious, guys. Now, the ultimate goal with this is basically to enhance your SMV, which is your market value. I don't know what mine would be. Probably pretty low. If this was like, you know, a football league pyramid, I would be Sunday League. I don't think I'd be anywhere near the Premier League. I don't even know what it entails to be in the Premier League, but I just know I'm nowhere near it. So I thought in this video, we would take a deep dive into where LooksMaxxing actually originated. Like, how did this become such a huge thing where it's taken over the lives of millions of people? How some men are going to extra lengths to be the biggest LooksMaxxer and be the most beautiful man on the planet. How there's been a university set up purely for LooksMaxxing for men to be attractive to women, and how nobody's face on earth is safe from being analysed by these people. Genuinely, this runs so deep, I can't wait to get into this. Get comfy. Now, LooksMaxxing actually originated from forums. It didn't start on TikTok, where it eventually blew up. It started on a lot of incel and manosphere forums. A lot of guys who were very kind of, you know, had low self-esteem, they were very critical of their own appearance, would put a photo of themselves and would put exact measurements of everything from their eye distance to their jawline, just every little detail about their face into these forums where other men would rate them out of 10, and a lot of the time they would get low scores, and these men would tell them that they need to do this to LooksMax to be like a 6 or a 7 or even an 8 if they're lucky. It's all very strange, but clearly the people that embark in this LooksMaxxing have very low self-esteem, and you know, they're very vulnerable, and they just kind of want to seek some sort of validation that they think will give them a little bit of confidence. Now, apparently LooksMaxxing originally started with the goal of dating success. So basically, this is all we're doing LooksMaxxing for. It's not really to give you like a lot of confidence. It's so that you get validation from women. And it's really sad because a lot of the men in these forums in the early days, in like 2010s to 2015s, genuinely believed that they were hideous. They genuinely believed that not one woman on the planet would find them attractive, which is really sad. But it definitely plays into one of our previous videos where we looked at kind of incel culture and the culture of being involuntary celibate, which basically means that you want to sleep with people, but nobody will sleep with you, so you can't really accomplish that. That's why it's involuntary. Now, in these forums, the main things they were kind of analysing about people was their skull shape. Again, I'm just getting insecurities out of nowhere here. Jaw width, eye tilt, and also facial harmony, like how symmetrical your face is. I mean, I'd definitely be then. And it wasn't until like the late 2020s where LooksMaxxing actually reached TikTok, and this is where it would basically blow up, and we would see millions of guys really try to do this. And what happens when something blows up on TikTok? People often like create their own culture around it, and with LooksMaxxing, this actually got separated into two different subcultures by TikTok. Softmaxxing versus hardmaxxing. I know, very creative names here. We're just adding maxing onto the end of everything, I think. I don't don't know, if you were doing like the washing really well, would you say that you're like washing maxing? I think this is the kind of vibe that they're going for here. We just had maxing on the end of everything that we're trying to improve. Now here's some examples that fall under the LooksMaxxing umbrella where you can separate them into both soft and hard maxing. So when it comes to skincare, soft maxing would be, you know, just applying moisturizer, washing your face, maybe putting cleanser on it, even some over-the-counter products as well that, you know, they're not making permanent changes, but they're just kind of adding to your daily life, hence the word soft. Whereas if you wanted to go one step further with hard maxing, you would actually have to do medical procedures such as laser resurfacing, chemical peels, and even micro needling. When it comes to hair, soft maxing would be like a haircut, or, you know, just putting wax or gel on your hair or hairspray. Hard maxing is straight to Turkey for your hair transplant surgery, or even scalp micro pigmentation. Genuinely, this runs so deep. I didn't even know any of these things existed before researching this video. Interestingly for me, soft maxing when it comes to teeth would be like whitening strips or just having better oral hygiene, you know, just brushing your teeth. Whereas hard maxing with this one is a lot more kind of culturally accepted. Like it's like braces or Invisalign, things that a lot of people do, and you don't really, you know, get the shamed for that or took the mick out of because it's seen as acceptable. I've had braces myself. I know you probably can't tell, but you know, they did help one time before I lost the bloody case, the bastards. I swear someone that didn't like me nicked my case so they knew that my teeth would go bad. They were really playing the long game with that one. They got the last laugh. When it comes to your body with LooksMaxxing, soft maxing would be stuff like working out, going to the gym, maybe it's like a spray tan or something if you really wanted to go that far. Whereas hard maxing would be actually getting surgery, or even like liposuction, or taking steroids, things that are doing permanent damage to your body and having a life-altering effect on you. Now all of them are obviously pretty severe, but the last two that I'm going to tell you are genuinely really terrifying. The first one is facial structure enhancement. Now soft maxing would probably be putting makeup on, or like a tinted moisturizer, or even just growing facial hair, whereas hard maxing would be getting genuine like chin implants or cheekbone implants, fillers, Botox, or even some of the other methods that we're going to see one person use later in this video that I can't actually believe exists. Now the second most alarming one that I find is height appearance. Now obviously, like as a guy, height is definitely one of the biggest insecurities that blokes have. I don't know why, but you often hear like, you know, men have to be 6 foot or whatever. It's bull. But it's kind of a message that a lot of guys get. A lot of guys will lie saying they're 6 foot when they're like 5'10", but they'll wear just like, I don't know, like soles in their shoes, or wear like a bigger heel or something just to achieve the 6 footness. And that would be classed as soft maxing, but a lot of guys actually go really hard and go the hard maxing route of getting height surgery, which basically involves you breaking the bones in your legs and lengthening the limbs. Now I have a video of one guy who did this. Take a look at this. So he went from 5'7" to 6'5", and you can see him here. He's walking with crutches. Obviously he's tall, but is it really worth it for having the mobility that he has now? Like, if it was me, I would much rather be 5'7" and be able to kind of, you know, turn quicker than the Titanic than be 6'5" and, you know, have to walk like this for the rest of my life. I mean, there's nothing wrong with walking like this, but when you were walking perfectly fine before, and the only reason you have kind of, you know, took away your mobility is just for height, I find that really, really odd. Like, there was people that would die to be able to walk like you were walking when you were 5'7", and you kind of took that for granted. But again, from their perspective, clearly they feel so insecure about their height that they're willing to break all of the bones in their legs just so that they're over this imaginary acceptable height for a man. And this is why I do have a lot of sympathy for some guys that undertake, you know, the hard maxing technique, because yes, you can say it's very silly, but there's a reason why these people are doing it. You know, they're not idiots as you may think they are. It comes from insecurity, you know, like they see on social media that they have to be a certain level, and they think that they have to actually get surgery to achieve this fake level that has been set by people that probably wouldn't be attracted to them in the first place. Now apparently this guy actually got this surgery 3 years ago, and he's still walking like this, so this isn't just like post-surgery. But I definitely think this comes from a culture of like everybody over-analysing everything. Like, obviously we're talking heavily about men now and how this is kind of creeping into, you know, the male kind of manosphere, but this has been happening for like years with women, you know, like when people see people on Instagram and, you know, they think that their beauty isn't of the level of that person, they feel like they need to do surgeries to get to some sort of unattainable level. This has been happening for years with women, and we're just starting to see it creep in with men. men now. And what's even more interesting is we're seeing more and more people on TikTok analyze how men look and how men should change things about themselves. For instance, there is like TikTok accounts set up specifically to mock the way that celebrities look and how they should use LooksMaxxing to become more successful because they will be more attractive.
How attractive is Michael B. Jordan? Michael has almond brown shaped eyes with straight and thick eyebrows. His lower third is wide. He has a compact mid-face, a good mouth-to-nose width ratio, and full lips. Michael has straight white teeth, great skin complexion, and he's got unique features such as great lashes, which makes his eye area very appealing. Michael also has a good hairline and good hair texture. Michael's chin is reaching.
Sorry, the fact that some bloke has sat behind like his desk and like, you know, put all of this into some sort of AI is hilarious to me. Like, he's just basically put into AI, can you please tell the world how shaggable Michael B. Jordan is? Fellas! What are we doing here? God, how shaggable is Michael B. Jordan? I just want to bloody sit on his face or something.
His gonial angle is high. He lacks jawline visibility, and his eyebrows could also be slightly lower set. B. Jordan is a 7 out of 10 facially.
Bro, if Michael B. Jordan is a 7 these days, I don't know what I am. Michael B. Jordan is a 7? A 7? How do you get to an 8? You can't put him as a 7 because it's not fair for everybody else underneath. Everybody else is like a 1 or 2 if he's a 7. You can't be doing this. Now it seems like I want to shag Michael B. Jordan. I genuinely don't, right? Michael, if you're watching, don't worry, you're safe, fella. You can't see he's a 7. Surely he's classed as a 10, right? Like, lots of people think he's attractive. I also want to see the person that created this video and what they look like. That would be very, very interesting. Because if they voted Michael B. Jordan a 7, they better be higher than a 7.
Stands at 5'10.5". His frame is great and he has a great aesthetic, lean, muscular physique. Michael B. Jordan is similar to Tristan Tate in the sense that all the other factors elevate his attractiveness way above his facial attractiveness. His physique, style, actor skills, and charisma allow him to achieve the maximum SMV of 10 out of 10.
Okay, so his like aura is a 10 out of 10, but he needs to work on his face, you know, some LooksMaxxing technique, some surgery or something. Michael B. Jordan, if you're watching, hopefully you're taking these tips on board. Hopefully not, fella. Right, don't do any of this. Don't listen to a random stranger on the internet.
How attractive is Ryan Gosling? Ryan Gosling has perfectly balanced facial thirds. His face height to width ratio is not that ideal.
We're just talking at this point. Facial thirds. Who looks at someone and goes, oh, I'm really attracted to them, but honestly their facial thirds are just really not doing it for us, you know? He would be the father of my children if he could just fix that bottom third. If he could fix that bottom facial third. Sorry, I can't even say the word. I don't even know what my facial thirds are. Hopefully no one's going to make one of these videos of me after this video airs, otherwise my self-esteem will be on the floor.
Face is asymmetrical. He is lacking facial bone mass and he has medium set cheekbones. Ryan has blue-collared eyes which are slightly deep-set and small for his face size. They have a slight negative canthal tilt. Luckily, he has very minimal upper eyelid exposure and his under eyes are quite healthy.
Is there someone in public, like actually, who makes these videos analysing people as they walk past, like, oh god, your eyes are very small for your face. I don't know how you can see. You know, it's a battle every single day for you, isn't it? You know, just open your eyes. The Lord has not blessed you.
Ocular distance instead is below the ideal ratio. From the side profile point of view, his jaw is lacking visibility. His ramus is very short, giving him also a bad gonial angle. He has good forward growth and his nose has a slight bump from the side. His lips are paper thin, at least his nose is also thin from the front. However, his lip width to nose ratio isn't ideal. His eyebrows could do with more thickness and his hairline is still strong luckily. Before I say his rating, you can get your own in our bio now. Overall, Ryan Gosling can be considered average with a rating of 5.5 out of
5.5! Ryan Gosling! Have you never watched The Notebook? Can't give Ryan Gosling a 5.5, man! You can't do this! Bro, I'm gonna be in negative numbers if Ryan Gosling is a 5.5. Come on. Isn't that man, like, widely regarded as a lot of people's, like, you know, crushes? A lot of people fancy him, don't they? What is very interesting about these videos is, like, personality is just not a thing, you know, when it comes to, like, rating someone's overall attractiveness. It is purely on looks, and I know the whole thing is LooksMaxxing, but surely, you know, what makes someone attractive isn't just how they look, isn't just the exterior, because somebody can be, you know, the most conventionally attractive person in the world, but if they're boring, or they're boring to you, that makes them less attractive, right? Like, looks can only get you to a certain level. I feel like your personality has to come through eventually, or maybe I'm just saying this because I rely more on my personality. I don't know. I think I'm being insecure here. Okay, let's watch one more.
How attractive is Timothée Chalamet? Timothy's eyes are green, but are not positively tilted enough, and he has a droopy lower eyelid. His eyes are too close set, and he has excessive upper eyelid exposure. His eyebrows are dark, positively tilted, close set, and low set. Although his jaw is slightly too narrow and his frontal angle is feminine, his chin to philtrum ratio.
How is that feminine? But what even determines a feminine chin? How can you say his chin's feminine?
Facial thirds are balanced, but feminine, since his lower third is his smallest. Timothy has a very short ramus, but his gonial angle is ideal. His side profile is also too rounded, and his chin is recessed. Timothy has a highly angular face with very high set cheekbones and a compact facial width to height ratio. Timothy has relatively low facial dimorphism, meaning his face trends towards being more feminine. Timothy Chalamet is a 6.35 out of 10 facially.
Bro, we're cooked. I am unk plus chop. I'm finished. When you've got people like Timothy Chalamet coming out with a 6.35, why you gotta be so specific as well? Just give him a 6 or a 7. 6.35. Oh yes, I'd actually give him 6.35. If he wants to achieve a 6.40, he has to do a little bit work on that mana brow. Shut up, man. I think Timothy Chalamet is pretty cool, right? I'd probably say he's my favourite actor at the moment. Bloke deserves more than a 6.3. Just for a second, could you imagine being one of those people that's getting like rated like this? It must be very, very difficult, especially if you are quite self-conscious about your looks. I don't think this would do you any favours. Like, obviously, if this happened to me, I wouldn't kind of care because I wouldn't really put any emphasis on someone making this about me because, you know, I really don't care about my facial third. This seems like I do. I think I do actually. But what would kind of bring me down is if somebody did this to me in person, and one influencer actually does do this.
So she got 3.5. Why and how could she improve?
Well, her mid face is way too long. Obviously, she's got the jowls coming in, horrible nasolabial folds. Horrible total facial width to height ratio. Just really bad age indicators, but obviously at 30, that's not something really that's going to surprise me. Her upper maxilla is super recessed, horrible infraorbitals. That's why your under eyes are coming in like hell. Really recessed chin.
Bro, sorry, if somebody just started listing loads of negative things about me, but I didn't understand any of the words they were saying, that would crush me. I'd be like, I can't even fire back because I don't even know what you've said. But it didn't sound nice, okay? And now I'm sad. He might as well have been speaking a different language there, but the tone was all off. There wasn't anything nice said there. The top comment on this video is she will think of this every day for the rest of her life. And that is the saddest part about this. You know, doing this in person to people, especially on a podcast, embarrassing one woman in front of everyone, is really not a nice thing to do and you're not helping. It's not constructive. You've basically did this on a podcast to embarrass this person. You're not actually interested in them LooksMaxxing or, you know, improving their confidence. You've done this to mock them. Now, this influencer is called Clavicular, I think it's called, but I'm just going to call him Clav because in a Geordie accent it's really hard to say. So if I say Clav, I mean him. Now, Clav's real name is actually Braden Eric Peters. You know, got a nice, you know, Christian posh name there. But calling yourself Clavicular, it makes you sound like you're in the Avengers, so I understand it. Now, he is an American live streamer and he became famous from his LooksMaxxing content from like around 2020, I believe, when he first started. And I definitely think he is like the poster boy for LooksMaxxing. When people talk about LooksMaxxing, his name always comes up. Like, everything I know about this guy is against my will. I could have quite easily lived my life without ever knowing anything about this bloke, but that has not happened, so now I need to share it with you. Now, Clav actually does LooksMaxxing in loads of really alarming and disturbing ways. Firstly, he has admitted to taking steroids. Apparently from the age of 14, he would actually inject himself with testosterone, which is really shocking. Like, a 14-year-old shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't really be doing that at all until like later in life if you want to kind of, you know, when your testosterone levels drop, if you want to kind of get them a little bit higher, then a lot of people do them. But when you're young, you don't need them. But the reason why he does this is because, you know, testosterone is highly linked to accelerated muscle growth, so he can grow his muscles a lot faster if he injects himself with this. However, without like a medical prescription, taking this at 14 years old can have a really detrimental effect to your body. Like, this is all under the umbrella of LooksMaxxing, like making yourself look better. But it's very short term because when you get older, the effects this is going to have on your body is really, really bad. Like, I've got loads of side effects that could potentially occur here. We have like stunted height, severe acne, liver damage, cardiovascular issues, increased aggression, also known as roid rage, which is a very, you know, famous term. And interestingly, your testicles also shrink. So taking testosterone, which is meant to make you, you know, more manly, actually gives you, you know, smaller balls, which is an interesting concept. But the most shocking thing about taking it when you're 14 is it actually disrupts puberty, you know, like the natural body function, you know, like that actually hinders that, the thing that you actually need to actually actually grow into your male body, and it causes irreversible changes. And Clav himself has admitted that he's actually infertile now because of these steroids and the things he's been taking.
So right now, I am infertile, but I'm not able to have a kid right now. But if I wanted to, there's a protocol I can put in place to be immediately good again.
Wait, why are you infertile right now?
So it's just like a negative feedback loop when you're, not needing to produce testosterone anymore because your body realizes, okay, we're getting it from an exogenous
So you're not producing
source.
any testosterone naturally?
No.
None?
No.
And that is shocking. Like, genuinely shocking. You know, being infertile, a lot of people are infertile, you know, like, involuntary, you know, without choice. And I'm not trying to, like, knock that at all, but what I'm saying is, when you were fertile and you've purposely put yourself in this position at a young age just so you can have more testosterone, that's where I find it really alarming. Because yes, this works for you now, yes, you get like bigger biceps or whatever you want to achieve, the physique that you want to get, but when you eventually do want to have a family, there's no guarantee that this is going to come back. It could, because you're still young and your body still will produce a lot of testosterone, but there's no guarantee because you don't know. He's also admitted to taking fat dissolvers and growth hormones as well, and a lot of other things to suppress his appetite. Like, it's kind of like an alternative to Monjaro and what's the other one called? The famous one. But the one that loads of celebrities take. You know what I mean? No, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, I'm going to have to search it. No. Why am I searching this? Ozempic. That's the Oh, I'm so annoyed I had to search that. Now, this hard-maxing isn't enough for Clavicle, as he actually has to do surgery as well to reach his goals.
I'm getting jaw surgery soon. They basically make a cut, the lower jaw, and then move it forward and apply screws. And same with the upper jaw. They cut along your anterior nasal spine and then advance your jaw forward. Like, they actually have to break your jaw.
Why? How much is that going to cost?
$35,000.
How many points do you think you're going to go up on the 1 through 10 scale after getting that surgery?
1.5.
And when I see this, like, I don't look at this guy and think he's some sort of, like, you know, idiot. You know, a lot of people might. I guess you could. I do think it a little bit, but I actually feel a bit bad for him because clearly, you know, he's been very insecure from a child. Like, when I see this guy, I don't see a really confident man. I see a really insecure person that is constantly trying to chase a never-ending goal. Like, when he gets this surgery, there's going to be a new surgery regarding his jaw that he'll want to achieve. It never ends because you're trying to achieve an unattainable goal. You will never reach the actual goal because every single time you think you're close to it, it moves forward again. It's never ending. You're in a vicious cycle. Now, I know this is a very, like, big thing to say, and I don't actually know if it does fall under this. The medical advice says that it doesn't, but it can lead to it. But it definitely has tendencies of, like, body dysmorphia and things like that. I don't believe this is actual body dysmorphia, but I definitely think this can lead into it later down the line, which has been backed by a lot of doctors. They also say LooksMaxxing, especially hard-maxing, can do this, can do that. There's a pipeline. Now, on top of surgery and taking steroids, Clav also takes a lot of peptides. Peptides are basically amino acid chains, and they affect different things in the body, such as proteins and collagens and collagen production. They also do a lot with, like, reducing inflammation, all stuff that your body naturally does. It kind of enhances it in the way that you want it to be enhanced. Again, messing with things, in my opinion, I don't really think you should touch. Yes, to a certain scale, but not to the level that Clav does it. Like, there's videos of him on stream where you can see when he started taking a new peptide, like, the effect on his skin, and it doesn't look too great.
Holy skin. It's getting better.
Like, genuinely, we're putting ourselves in a position where you're going to be in, you know, danger with health just to achieve, like, a 0.5 upgrade on your attractiveness scale. And also, you're doing this for other people. Like, I genuinely don't believe that he's doing this for his own validation. I think he wants more validation from other people because that's why he does content around it. If he was genuinely doing it for himself, he wouldn't need to post content and kind of get validation from the outside people. He's doing it because he wants these people to say that he's attractive, which again says to me that he's stuck in this vicious cycle. It's also important to mention that he is only 20 years old as well. And, you know, I'm not trying to be nasty or anything here, but if I had to guess his age, I would say he was more closer to 30s. I genuinely wouldn't think that he just turned 20. Now, obviously, I've been critical of all of the things that he has taken and he does kind of talk about taking, because I genuinely think that a lot of young people, especially, you know, when he was taking them at 14, a lot of other 14-year-olds can watch him giving advice and they can think that they need to take this themselves because this is how they become more attractive like him.
Wait, Clav, give your top 5 peptides.
Well, my top 5 peptides
you should
would
do it
be
too.
Retta, so that's the one that's going to block your appetite, right? So it's kind of like Ozempic, but Ozempic just makes you feel like shit all day. Retatrutide is a lot more selective, but better experience all around, so I take that to keep myself lean. BPC is another good one that's really good for your heart health, really good for your joints, all that kind of stuff.
Like, why are we platforming someone that is giving advice to young men that they should take a pill that makes them not hungry so that they can stay slim? I know Ozempic and Mounjaro is like a huge issue within, like, you know, influencing, and people lie about being on it and they lose weight very quickly and a lot of the time unhealthy. But it's just scary how normalized this is being, you know, like how this is just treated as if something we should just do now. It's really, really scary. And the fact that influencers are just kind of like, there's no rules about this either. You know, he can just say that and it's fine for him to just say that to a young audience, and a young audience can buy that because he said it, because he's an influencer, and you know, he just doesn't get in trouble for it at all. There's no rules or regulations around this. I just think unless you've got some sort of accredited medical background, or you know, you've got some proof that you know what you're talking about, then you shouldn't be saying things like this on stream to young kids. Now, if you thought all of the things that I've mentioned that Clav does is bad yet, you still have seen nothing, as his next thing possibly is the most alarming one: bone smashing facial experiment. Now, Clav actually did an article with GQ, and we're just going to read the first paragraph around the bone smashing. When you're a teenager, your parents like taking stuff away from you: video games, sleepover privileges, the car keys. When Braden Peters, who you know as Clavicular, was a teenager, his mom took away his hammer. She wanted young Clav to stop bone smashing. That is trying to tap his face repeatedly with a hammer to change his face shape. I wish I was joking. Smashing your face with a hammer to change the way your face looks? Can you not just get someone to punch you? You might as well. Oh my good lord. Sorry, imagine that. Like, your fella smashes his face to like get cheekbones. I'd be like, no mate, that's an ick for me. I'm out. It's just a bit intense for me. I feel like you should have put this on the Tinder profile before I've come. Too intense. I'm just here on my Switch trying to play Animal Crossing, and you're smashing your face up in that corner. Oh, love. Right, it's not going to work for me, this. Too intense. Now, he actually confirmed this on stream as well, so this is 100% fact.
My mom used to take these away when I was growing up because I was always bone smashing with a hammer. You know? Yeah. She had to hide them.
Bone smashing's the way of life.
Dude, yeah, they literally had to hide the hammers. So
I got a few friends who do it all the time. They just bang on the face.
You do it or what?
No, I'm not a big bone smasher myself, but my friend...
I love that he asked him so casually. Do you do it as well? No, mate. No, I do not. What? Sit in an empty room and smash my face with a hammer? Chances are I actually don't do that, you know. Surprisingly, I'm just not really into that. I'm more of just kind of like sit down, watch a movie, get a takeaway kind of guy in my spare time. Not really about the caving my face in. But when I say this, like, genuinely, like, I know I'm having a laugh there, but again, I feel bad for this guy. Like, this doesn't make me think that he's an idiot. I feel like this guy is just so insecure that from a young age, he's just never kind of like worked on it mentally, you know. Like, the guy has never been in some sort of therapy or talked to someone about this, and he's kind of just been enabled and allowed to kind of make a joke out of it, which just kind of grew into him making this his brand. Now, the reason why Clav does this, like his evidence for this being like a thing that everybody should do, is because of Wolff's Law.
You guys know about bone smashing? Bone smashing? It's according to Wolff's Law. So like when you break down a bone, it grows back stronger. So I'm trying to grow my cheekbones to Mog. We'll just keep hitting.
Now again, with that, he is like summarizing Wolff's Law so much there. Now, I only know like a little bit about Wolff's Law, so I did want to get some actual, like, you know, backed up medical evidence about this. And this is what I found. So when it comes to LooksMaxxing, Wolff's Law is actually a misapplication of science. Wolff's Law applies to cyclic loading, e.g. lifting weights, running, which stimulates bone growth, not to acute blunt force trauma, which is what a massage gun to the face is. Clav himself even said that it's micro trauma. Swelling versus bone growth. Instead of inducing new bone growth, hitting the face causes micro fractures, fluid buildup, and soft tissue inflammation. This often leads to a puffy or uneven appearance rather than an enhanced, sharp, angular structure, which is exactly what I said. Like, his bones don't actually look like they're bone defined. It looks like inflammation has just kind of stayed there to protect him for when the next micro trauma comes. Unpredictable results. There is no way to control how the bone remodels, leading to potential asymmetry and lumpy, irregular bone swelling. So all of the science around Wolff's Law and Lomaxing is very unproven, basically, and he's treating it like it's not. I also found an accredited doctor's opinion on Clav specifically.
An online influencer who is a big proponent of LooksMaxxing. Through many of his various treatments, he really has transformed himself, but he actually looks to me very different. With the treatments that he's using, like peptides and certain medications and exercising, I actually think he looks older and he actually could be causing damage to himself. I'm not a big fan of this extreme look of LooksMaxxing because you are looking very different and not recognizable. So skincare is really important, but peptides and certain medications have to be done properly and very supervised by a medical profession so that it is safe for you. So the other concerning factor is that he is 19 and he's made significant changes to himself, which can be deleterious to his body. We don't know the long-term effects of all these treatments that he's doing to change himself, so it actually might be unhealthy for him in the long run.
Now, nobody can kind of argue with this guy's, opinion, because he's the guy who studied this for years. Like, he's a medical professional telling you exactly what the situation is. And like previously in this video, that is the opinion I've said. You don't know the long-term effects of this, and kind of pumping all of this into your body at a young age, when you eventually come off it, which you will have to one time unless you're going to give yourself like severe health issues, your body isn't going to be used to the levels that it's left with, and you're going to just feel like a shell of a person. Like he said himself, his body isn't producing its own testosterone at the moment, so when he comes off this thing, do you think it's just going to produce testosterone again, like when he's 40? As you get older, your testosterone levels drop, so you don't actually know the long-term effect of what it's going to be like when you eventually come off this. And not to mention all the other things he's on. I'm not saying this from a place of being bitter or kind of saying this because I don't like him. I'm saying this because I genuinely actually fear for the long-term effects to his health. I just don't feel like he needs to do it. The guy's attractive enough. Like, why does he need to smash his bones? It makes no sense to me. Now, interestingly, because Clav believes that, he's like insanely attractive, this has definitely given him like a really high ego, and when you see clips of him on stream, you can see him becoming more and more insufferable.
What's your type?
Like you, like...
Oh! What specifically?
Like, green eyes, tall, more taller than me, white, I don't know.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, you're not my type, so...
Brother, when someone says you're attractive and you say what specifically and get them to list all the things they like about you, you can't go, yeah, well, I just think that you're pretty ugly, to be fair. You can't do that! Don't make them list the good features out about you! It's the fact that he looked to the camera as well. He was like, this is going to be in a TikTok edit, this. It's going to be a beat drop and everything. I can feel it.
I don't really like a woman who tries to be super educated either and try to like have these intelligent conversations, because a lot of the times, like, you could, and this is talked about by Socrates and a lot, like, a woman could be very well educated, but that doesn't make them a good thinker. So they just might have a lot of these like facts in their brain, maybe from books they've read. They don't necessarily know how to interpret them properly. They won't make the right conclusions. So I just don't want a wife who's like wanting to argue about like, politics and like that all the time.
Bro just Harvard referenced Socrates. I don't think Socrates ever said that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he said that. What do you mean a woman can be really, well educated, but it doesn't make them a good thinker? That's just such a really weird blanket statement to say, a misogynist thing to say. That can be the case for anyone, no matter if they're a woman, a man, whatever they are. Does that mean that every single well-educated man is a good thinker? Definitely not. I do find it interesting that you're getting to learn more about his personality, because you're realizing that his thoughts and a lot of his beliefs are very incel. Despite him looking like someone that would, kind of really like women, he's still insecure at heart, and that's what I've been saying throughout this video. When I see this guy, I don't see him as an impressive, really confident bloke. I see him as a really insecure person, and I really don't mean that in a bad way either, because I feel like I'm insecure, but I don't hide it. I feel like this guy tries to hide it for some reason. The people I really feel sorry for, watching this video, are the people that have went to, sixth form, university, even maybe he's got a master's degree or something, and then they've realized the only reason that they did that was for the validation of Clav, and he actually doesn't like you anymore. Like, your life is a misery now. You have no purpose in life. Why were you even doing it? I don't know. Unlucky. Hold that, L, love. And this like fake confidence that he somehow built has led him to actually sell some sort of course where he can basically teach other people to LooksMaxx and be confident like him. Now, this is actually called Clavicular's mentorship, the Clavicular System. The LooksMaxxing gold rush is here. How I evolved LooksMaxxing into the Clavicular System, a data-driven framework using experimental methods to surpass genetic potential. Me when I lie. Bro just had a lot of big words that really kind of didn't make that much sense. There is a trailer for it.
If you're tired of being invisible to women, tired of getting rejected, and tired of watching other guys who won the genetic lottery take what's yours, then pay attention.
Because what I'm about to show you will completely transform your face and physique in ways that you didn't even think were possible. Look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. You have been lied to. They told you just be confident, just be yourself, looks don't matter. But you and I both know that's complete bullshit. You see it every day. Attractive men get treated differently. They get the girls, they get the respect, and they get the opportunities handed to them, while you get nothing.
But this isn't like a good way to live. So you're basically selling a course where men can build themselves up to just get validation from women. Not to have inner self-confidence, not to be comfortable in their own skin, but so that women will like them, which is going to make them insecure because yes, they might get women, you know, with whatever techniques you tell them, but they're always going to be insecure inside because they haven't actually worked on themselves because they're seeking external validation rather than the validation for themselves. I know this sounds stupid, but the only person you're with until the day you die is yourself. So if there's someone that you should put the most work into impressing, it's yourself and being confident with yourself. Not doing things so that other people think you cool, so that you think you're cool. Now you can actually see here how he has people like before, after, but again, like, he just looks young here. And then he got older and went to the gym. Here, like a kid who seems, you know, just seems like a attractive guy, I guess. Like, what is the real difference here? That he's just kind of tensing his jaw. It's just lighting. Like, what is the difference here? No offense, you know, I guess he has had a glow up, but also the camera's had a glow up. What is the ascension here? You switch from an iPhone 16 to an iPhone 18. This one as well. Like, obviously there's a woman here, like before, after. I just think the way that he's selling this is if he's going to transform your genetics, but that's just not the case. He actually explains what the system is here. So the first thing is you're diagnosed what actually matters. They'll give you a face map audit, symmetry, proportions, and posture score, skin stack, dermagrade routine, simplify to compounds that work, jawline exposure, neck fat, sodium, and camera angle standards. Camera angle standards. That's exactly what this was, just a camera angle. He just took it a bit lower so it looks like his jawline's more defined. Photo standards, lighting, pose, checklist for real before after proof. But again, this is not working on your inner confidence. If you're working towards only being confident when the phone is at a certain angle or you're only on your good side, that is not inner confidence. That's not what you're building in people here because they're still going to be insecure if the camera's on the other side. Surely you should work on something within them so that no matter where the photo's being taken place, they feel okay. Especially if you're charging people for this. Execute without noise. They give you like morning PM steps in 6 minutes, gym and posture, habit compliance. They basically do 60-second check-ins with you, weekly adjustments, whatever the hell that means. They also have like a questionnaire that you have to fill in so that they can contact you. But I find it funny how they say, claim your spot now, lock in your exclusive spot before we close public access. You're not going to close public access. You want as many people to pay for this as possible. Why would you close it? This is hardly some exclusive club. I've just went on it a while after it's launched and it's still open. Now, shockingly, the response to this hasn't actually been that bad from a lot of people. Some people have actually been so motivated by it and inspired by it that they've launched their own courses. One of the funniest ones I think I've seen is something called Mogwarts, which is obviously joining the two words Mogging and Hogwarts from Harry Potter. If you don't know what Mogging is, don't worry, I'll let you know right now. This basically refers to significantly dominating or outclassing somebody else in the looks department. Now, someone has actually made a Mogwarts Academy so you can be some sort of like, I don't know, different to the muggles. Now this is the school of LooksMaxxing and profound self-improvement. There's also a trailer to this one.
Are you tired of feeling overlooked, undervalued?
Brother, come on. This is just a kid in his bedroom, man. Oh, where? With the TikTok lamp in the background. Why should I listen to you?
Trust me, I've been in your exact same shoes countless times. You'll want to pay close attention to what I'm about to share with you. Most of you might be wondering whether looks, status, money, social recognition actually play a role. And if they matter, let's face it, the answer is pretty obvious. While these things may seem superficial, they play a significant role in how you're perceived and treated in almost every aspect of our lives. It's a tragedy, the society that we're in.
But what status has this guy got right now? Genuinely, are people looking at this guy and go, one day, right, I'm gonna have that TikTok lamp on me wall? We're just bullshit here. We're just lying.
Now, from social media to dating apps, our overall image is constantly being evaluated. But hold on, who am I to speak about this? As I've mentioned previously, I've been in the exact same place many of you guys are right now, feeling unattractive, struggling financially, and invisible to girls. But things have changed. With over 1.5 million followers and a 7-digit income and a social circle of like-minded people, I've undergone the transformation we all strive to achieve. So it's finally time I put pen to paper and help others achieve that too. Because at the end of the day, what's the point of reaching the finish line if you're the only one there, right?
Fuck. No, fuck. What's the point in being at the finish line If I'm just here by myself, nobody else is here to LooksMax with me. I don't want to bone crush by myself. Fucks, what? Nah, I never thought about it like that, though. Nah, you're right, nah. That's so true, what? Also, I love that there's like loads of just random, like, are these affiliations to The Guardian, BBC, Business Insider? Are these just people that have wrote about LooksMaxxing? I think these are articles that they've took the of Mogwarts for, and he's kind of put them on the website as like we're in partnership with them.
Your ultimate transformation solution and the bridge you've all been searching for. Dive deep into my comprehensive guides.
Okay, so this, you've got to pay $5, and this guy's basically the Harry Potter of this thing, right? He's the guy that's gonna, you know, help us defeat the Dark Lord.
Where I personally walk you through every chapter, ensuring nothing is left to cover. With personalized guidance and video lessons, you'll have the exact tools you'll need to thrive. Now, I know learning can sometimes get mundane and boring, so to keep you guys all motivated, you'll also be having regular connected calls with me through our exclusive Academy live streams and Q&A sessions.
I'm not trying to be harsh here, but that's a nightmare blunt rotation. Imagine, right? A Zoom call with loads of people LooksMaxxing in it. Oh, genuinely, that would be my hell. If hell does exist and I'm put into it, they just need to lock me in a Zoom call with loads of people bone smashing, and we just keep going for like eternity. Yeah, that'll be hell to me. You know, if you want to get to me, devil, that's what you need to do, son.
You thought that was all? Well, guess what? You'll also be receiving vital insights from other influencers and professionals every month. People that are known in this space.
Professionals of what?
Work and like sweat into Mogwarts. How do I subscribe to your school?
Oh yeah, that guy looks like he's radiating personality. Can't wait to hear what he has to say, the expert. Sorry, I'm just being harsh right now.
And above all, Mogwarts Academy enables you to not only step into the best version of yourself, but also make authentic connections, friends, people that think alike, and to help you kind of get involved in the supportive community of like-minded people. Now, you can always Google and find yourself surface level advice that's easily attainable. The unique methods that you'll find within this academy, the precise insights that I've developed within this academy are the result of extensive research on my part, as well as personal experience from my own transformation. Something that can only be acquired through trial and error.
This guy is going on as if, genuinely, as if he's like Harry Potter. Do you know when they have the room of requirement and Harry's teaching everybody else how to, you know, do this? I wonder if this is like his thing. I wonder if he literally looked at that movie and went, what happens if we swap the magic for LooksMaxxing? I can be the Harry Potter of this shit. Wow, I'm gonna make Dumbledore get liposuction!
Why only listen to me when you can actually take a look at our Academy's reviews and testimonials?
It was like nothing I've ever seen before.
So, what are you waiting for?
Oh yeah. Thank you for that extensive reviews there. Just somebody going, it was like nothing I've ever seen before. That could be negative as well as positive. It was like nothing I've ever seen before. It was a living hell. I find this so wild because there's so many courses here that they've got within this. Like over 28 hours of exclusive content. 28 hours? What are they talking about for 28 hours? I've got no idea. Guys, genuinely, I tell you what, I'm going to set a like goal at the end of this video and I will sign up for both Mogwarts and Clav's Academy because I'm actually really, really intrigued and I want to make a full video on that. I'll set a like goal at the end of the video. But before we get there, if you do actually, you know, attend Mogwarts, like I might do myself one day, I might enroll, you know, go to the big castle. Then if you actually learn the skills from that thing, you maybe one day can do your own mog-off. Now, a mog-off, a mog-off is where you go next to somebody else and you're both in competition to see who the most attractive person is. Obviously, mogging is being, you know, much better than the other person. And you kind of let the audience decide, I think, a lot of the time. Now, this has kind of took over TikTok as well. There's a few instances I've got of it.
Get in front of him. Get in front of him.
Ah, there we go. Good old-fashioned mug-off. How it used to be.
Those are androgenic fucking traps.
Yeah. Great, lads. Well done, lads. This is attractive. Guys, I can't pick. Can I shag you both? Can I have you both at the same time? Please, I can't pick. What? Both with the vests on? Tenzin? Oh, what? Is it my birthday? It must be my birthday. What? Guys, if this doesn't make you want to LooksMax, I don't know what will. Sorry, why are we having a pouting contest right now? What are we doing? You know donuts, okay? If you're a regular viewer of this channel, I really never shame people. You know, if someone's doing something that they enjoy, let them do it. you know, as long as they're not hurting anyone. But there is a line. I feel like this is just not it, because I don't feel like this is actually benefiting you. Why are you pouting to young people on the internet and trying to get yourself voted as the most attractive person? Like, we're all losers here. Even the winner's a loser. Because what are we actually doing? This isn't like the World Cup. This is not like a prestigious award or like an Oscar or something. Oh, I don't know who's going to win the Oscar for the Mogging contest this year. I don't know what we're doing, fellas, man. And also, I want to pose this question to you. I know a lot of my audience is women. Does this make you attracted to these people when they're pouting on camera, you know, and getting people to vote on TikTok? Is this an attractive trait? I'm going to leave that with you as a question, okay? Please answer it in the comments. Also, if we do hit, I'm going to set a big one because I do need to pay money, 20,000 likes, okay, within a month on this video, I will buy both Clav's Academy and also the Mogwarts, okay? I'll be there with me hat on, going to platform 3 3/4. I'll be straight there to Chisel City, okay? That's on you. If you hit it, I'll do it. Thank you very much for watching this video, donuts. If you want to watch another video from me on incels, click this video right here, very closely tied into this video, weirdly. If you want to see some wild stuff, I'll see you over there.
Cam Kirkham, baby!